We're in Christianity and the Social Crisis, the last chapter, What to Do, page 375. Walter Rauschenbusch has been dealing with the benefit of social customs and how we can't do without them. Although many of us buck against custom and tradition, most customs and traditions have a reason for being that is beneficial. So he takes up the argument this way. Good customs are perpetually in danger, and the church can act as a conservative influence in guarding them against hostile inroads. For instance, the custom which barred alcoholic drinks from respectable and educated homes is now being undermined, this is 1907, by the influence of the idle upper class, which needs stimulants and copies their use from foreign society. And the church should undertake a new temperance crusade with all the resources of advanced physiological and sociological science. The head of an important Eastern institution a few years ago proposed to introduce beer in the social gatherings of students in order to make them more sociable. Such an innovation would not merely create the habit of moderate drinking in many young men, but would introduce a foreign custom into American life. Many of our public dinners are now wholly free from the flush of wine or beer. The excellence of American after-dinner speaking and the prevalence of real humor and fun at our public dinners are mainly due to the fact that both speaker and audience are in full control of their critical faculties and therefore demand fine intellectual work and are in condition to appreciate it. The alcoholic paralysis begins with the brain and lessens the capacity for self-scrutiny and self-restraint. We should note that Rauschenbusch was truly Baptist here. An alcoholized audience will howl at anything unseemly and be too dull for anything really witty. Even if the students of that institution should all stop drinking when they graduated, a lasting damage would be done to American college life if it became customary for the college community to pass into partial narcosis as a preparation for social enjoyment. Against all such corruptions of good custom, the church should do sentinel duty. Any permanent and useful advance in legislation is dependent on the previous creation of moral conviction and custom. This is where I guess Rauschenbusch would differ with temperance as being applied legally. But anyway, let's see what he says. It is a commonplace that the law cannot be enforced without the support of public opinion, and that an unenforced law breaks down the usefulness of all related laws and the reverence for law in general. If the law advances faster than the average moral sense, it becomes inoperative and harmful. The real advance, therefore, will have to come through those social forces which create and train the sense of right. The religious and educational forces in their totality are the real power that runs the cart uphill. The state can merely push a billet of wood under the wheels to keep it from rolling down again. Some of the gravest evils of our day are either not covered by enacted law, or the law against them does not work. In such cases, the forces which create active moral conviction are under accusation for neglect of duty. The process of guarding, creating, or strengthening useful institutions is similar to the process of creating good customs. It is a function in which religious sentiment and the organized church can work freely. For instance, our public parks are an institution of the highest value to the physical and moral life of the cities. About 50 years ago, no city in the United States had purchased an acre of land for park purposes. Mainly through the influence of public-spirited men, supported by enlightened moral sentiment, parks have been created and are now not only increasing their acreage and their beauty, but their usefulness. They are beginning to offer sandhills for the little children, swimming baths in summer, skating in winter, music on holidays, gymnastic apparatus, and open-air games. Instead of warning the people to keep off the grass, they are bidding for the inflow of the people. Yet it is safe to say that every one of these advances costs some struggle and effort, and at every such moment of struggle, a lift from the powerful shoulders of the organized religious community would be practically decisive. Put in a link to that great congregational minister, Alfred Garvie, who thought much and did much to advance the common man during this generation and the generation after, leading up to World War II. And I've done a video on his work and his counsel, and it's called Monotony, Drudgery, and Leisure, and the Destruction of the Image of God. See you next time.